The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, senior writer at The Spin-off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Hello.
Weird. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
Welcome.
Crack open your thing.
Crack a tropical. This is kind of new tropics in a way.
It is like new tropic.
This is old tropic.
Tropical Red Bull. The tropical edition. Cheers.
Let's do a podcast. Kia ora, welcome to The Real Pod. My name is Jane Yee. I'm joined by Duncan Grieve, Alex Casey. Alex is finger
Oh, there's a
pointing.
natural beat happening there.
No,
My name is Jane
Yee. He's Duncan Grieve.
But I feel like there was an era of kind of crushed resignation to Jane's opening as well. There's a lot of different energies pinging around the room is what I'm saying.
Chained to the rhythm. Remember that song?
Sing it.
Turn
Oh,
it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
It's your favourite song.
It's a
That was
really, really good song.
Remember when they released it in the disco ball? Anyway,
Is it Katy Perry?
it's Katy Perry.
Yeah,
remember-
very good.
remember
Underrated Katy Perry. I think Katy Perry is underrated. She's got
Wow.
such a deep catalogue.
Is she not very
Rated?
rated?
No, she's not at all. But no one
She's in a
respects
flop
Katy
era, right?
Yeah,
I
And-
like Swish Swish. Sorry.
yeah, I like it too.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I don't. No, Swish Swish is bad.
Can I just add that
But I
Alex,
think she's got like 15 really good songs.
Teenage Dream.
Unbelievable.
We are
album.
We're,
Derailed.
we're off, Jane.
we're off. And they're off racing this time. This is your reality TV recap podcast as well
And
as
Katy
real.
Perry
Oh,
pod.
I just got did you hear that email notification? That's from a certain Mike Wilson,
Like she's just not credible.
apprentice candidate.
You know?
What?
Hey!
Oh my God.
Okay, shush. Too many things going on. There's absolutely no way anyone is across what's happening here, least of all us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find the Cornies on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/RealPodCorner. And you can find us on Instagram, the Spin-off Podcast Network. Right. Lots of exciting things.
Follow us. There's
Could
gonna
be something fun happening tonight. We don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like, we look, I'll
Hey,
tell you what
it's
is.
Tuesday and the real pod just gets out there, doesn't it? Sorry, Jane, you look dead.
Oh, I'm just trying to say a single sentence, please.
Okay.
Okay, and here it is. The Apprentice finale is on tonight, and we are going to be watching it together. So we're going to document our time watching it together. Okay, so why don't you follow us on the Instagram to be
See
part
you
of it.
online.
See you on the internet. Should we get into the real news? Alex, are we going to lead with a hot story from Alex Casey?
Oh, I went to Briscoe's on the weekend.
That new one,
The big fancy
Yeah,
new one,
I've not been
Taylor's
there yet.
Road. It's crazy.
it looks it.
Because basically, backstory, we've bought a bed. You know, I think this is important to kind of fill you in.
kind of
It's not
bed?
just a
We're
bed.
talking-
It's not just a bed.
A new bed or an old bed?
It's definitely a secondhand bed.
What
which
were you
people-
on before?
I was on a queen bed that was my friend Sophie's mum's bed from her spare room at her batch in Bungafai,
Oh, yeah.
which I have had
Classic.
since I was 13. And you know that there is skin cells.
Let's not talk about my pillow.
Let's not talk about it. So anyway, the time has come. Joe and I are also moving into an apartment and we're trying to have a glow up.
Congratulations.
Trying to
all
have
round.
like a holistic glow up.
Just leaving Mount Albert.
Leaving Mount Albert, moving to Mount Eden.
I mean, I feel
Mount
like you
jumping.
buried the lead a bit there.
Nah. The main thing is the bed.
Bed's the
So
big
we
news.
bought a second-hand Akosa mattress, which has had a lot of hype in recent times.
What's the hype? I'm not
They
aware
come
of
in a
it.
box.
They come in a
right?
box. And it's actually real funny to buy one that
What
doesn't
do-
come in a box.
what-
That's the whole
what-
reason it's fun.
Well, what do normal mattresses come in? A bag?
Oh no, they come
They come in a small
folded up,
box.
and you open up the box and they
And they-
expand.
Whoa.
We
Yeah.
got one in the States when we were living over there. not that long ago in Los Angeles.
you?
Yep. What? And it's amazing when you open them up. You didn't even get that experience.
No, so let's say you don't have the box experience. Still good?
It's still a good mattress, right? I don't know. I've never laid on one.
Anyway, so we bought off a lovely young lad. This is so boring.
No, I
Why
love
am
it.
I
like
talking
it.
about this?
What kind of young lad are we talking about?
A young lad who's moving to the States, actually, Jane. You'll be interested in this.
I am interested.
The United States of America to do his master's, and he was leaving yesterday. So it was a real last minute, like, I've got to text his flatties to pick up the bed in 2 weeks. I've paid for it. I put my life in his hands.
Oh, hang on. So it's a pre-loved Ikosa.
It's a second-hand course.
Okay, so he got all the joy of the open.
Yes.
And
And
you
I'm
just-
getting
What kind of a
just a
discount
bed.
do you get for the joy listeners?
Well, we bought the bed and the base for $750, which I thought was quite good for
And
a king.
what's the for a king?
Yeah.
What's the retail? What's the RRP on that package?
The Akoso I looked up is
Gosh.
about $1,200
Oh, that's a bargain. So you got
1200,
that and the frame.
and the frame.
Well, that's amazing. Well done.
Thank you. Anyway, so then we hit Briscoe's. So
Yeah,
I was
good
like,
price.
king, new duvet, new sheets, new cover. Had a mental breakdown. I was like, this is our opportunity. This is like being on the block. You know, you hit Briscoe's, bam, bam, bam. What do you need? It was a nightmare, and I came out of it with a navy duvet, and I'm
That's
spiraling.
so
Alex,
funny.
I'm spiraling.
Look, Alex Casey, you should have given me a call. Do you know that in my employment history, I worked in a Manchester department at a home decorating store?
I didn't know
like
that.
full-time.
Was it Levine's?
It was Levine's.
Boom. How did I know that?
Because I knew you round then. It was about 20
okay,
years ago.
Okay. But still, Levine's, yeah, we could do a whole episode of Removing Beween on Levine's.
We could, except for that. I think I'm the only, well, you and I were the only ones who remember it. 'Cause
No,
you
it
were
was
trying to say it now.
iconic.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
realise now I kind of went Levine's like I knew it, but I was thinking of Rosine. And that's my truth. Anyway, so now I've got this horrible duvet, spiraled, was really upset when we got home and I put it on the bed. I was like, this looks so shit. This looks like a teenage boy's bedroom. So Joe bought 3 throw pillows for us, which I think is really going to
it is.
elevate
It's gonna
the-
lift it. You've given yourself a good navy base.
Extremely blockish
Anyway, I want to
behaviour.
hear from someone who has a navy duvet out there. Do you like it? Have I made a mistake?
You know what? When I was a teenage boy, well, guess what kind of duvet
No,
was?
it was navy.
Navy waffle. I'm just saying.
Hey, also, if you've got cats, steer away from a waffle because they get their little claws
Yeah,
caught in the waffle.
they do.
And
Yeah.
then you get your little loose
I
bits
think
of
you should
string.
take it back.
I slept in it.
Okay, don't take it back.
Don't-
Sell it on trade, mate.
Secondhand.
Pre-loved.
No, you
Pre-loved
can still
corny.
take it back. You can still take it back.
No, you can't. That's gross. Not
think
you.
it's
It's
okay.
nothing personal.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it
let's
got
move
to the
on.
point where we were having such a big fight in the duvet line, the duvet aisle, that this lady came up and was like, I've got this one. It's fine. Get that one.
Yeah, but she just
And it
wants
was this
someone.
crazy pink one. I was like, this is chaos.
She's
No,
just
pink's
speaking on
okay.
behalf of all the people in Briscoe's who didn't want to hear you fighting.
Is it that blush pink one?
It was
Belinda-
sort of a blush
Yeah,
pink. It
yeah,
was
I've
kinda
got
like
that.
this
That's
colour.
great.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's very pale.
We'll
I need
update
help.
you next week with this developing story. In other news, there's a new reality TV show. Weird for us to be talking about reality TV instead of duvets. But anyway, entrepreneurs and property developers Kenyon and Charlotte Clark, you heard of them? New names to me. Have created a new doco/reality show called The Property Developers. Okay.
What is it for the TV?
It's for I guess so. Spy, this came from Spy, understands filming is underway, being shot over the next few months in luxury locations around the country, following the couple's glamorous lives and synced in with their major business and property developments.
I'm into this.
I'm into any reality TV.
Yeah, but property developers, based on the stories I've heard from lads I know who know them, just sound like they're a bit of a different breed. And I think they would make good television.
The show will take a peek behind the scenes at what it takes to succeed in the development game, along with giving real solutions for the current New Zealand housing crisis. Let's get them on when the facts change.
Oh my God.
This is the when the facts change, the real pod crossover.
episode. I think that would
Holy
be fun.
shit.
That would be amazing.
Bernard, if you're listening.
He's definitely
And you are.
listening.
Imagine Bernard listening to this. He'd be so angry that it
Duvet
existed.
chat? Oh my God. I
Okay.
wonder what colour duvet. Show us your duvets.
Show
Hashtag.
us your duvets.
Yeah.
And just, you know what? Don't fancy it up just because you're taking a photo for the corner.
Also, can we get a real pod corner poll of whether Alex's navy blue duvet is okay or not?
Look, by the time you next go to the corner, it's already there. I'm telling you that now. Wayne, get on it. Okay. The Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, has had the hiccups for 10 days.
Oh my God.
And he's now in hospital.
Oh.
And when he did like a little speechy or something recently, he hiccuped approximately 14 times within the first minute of speaking.
This honestly, like, knowing Bolsonaro, this is just he's like incredibly vain former athlete, former military guy. It's just so good that this has happened to him. I wouldn't wish it on anyone except him.
What a weird little affliction to have
But
for 10 days.
people like, I remember, and it can't be true, my favourite book growing up, published by the famed publisher St. Michael's, parent company of, is it Marks and Spencer or Waitrose or both?
I don't know.
Anyway, there was a story about a lady who had the hiccups for like 7 years.
Whoa.
Sounds real annoying.
Oh, that's too long. I remember having the hiccups once and going to a petrol station to buy a 10-pack of smokes
They look
back in
few
the
of
day.
them.
And I walked in and the guy behind the counter said, I'll give you $1,000 if you hiccup again. And I couldn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So try that, but
Try
only if
that
you've got a
on-
spare $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is happening? That's it for the real news, I think. Anything else to add? Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry. I saw this on Instagram this morning. The headline, I've cut it off a bit, but I believe the headline is
That would actually be a good headline.
Nude.
I click that.
Nude model saved my life, and the nude model is none other than the Buzzy Kiwi himself,
Buzzy
Stephen
Kiwi,
from The Apprentice.
Oh.
And he's-
Show me that.
if you go to his Buzzy Kiwi Instagram, it might still be up there. He is quite nude. in
That's
that
a
photo.
low
It's a
pant.
very low pant.
That's a very low pant, Jane.
He's zooming.
She is definitely zooming in.
I even think it's a towel.
What?
I don't think it's a pant at all.
It's not a pant. That is most certainly, as an expert
Is it, hey?
in bed and bath,
beyond.
that is definitely a towel. It's definitely
That's
a towel.
where we bought our cushions from Bed Bath & Beyond. Anyway, sorry not to talk about my...
Oh, yeah. You can see all kinds of mischief getting down there.
I think, look, we might.
He looks like he's ready to give it the flick as well with that
does.
seductive tucked thumb.
I might have to put that in the corner because it might be gone by the time you're listening to this. But don't you worry, I got you. All right, let's move into reality check.
I have 4 weeks to decide if I'm going to drop my entire philosophy.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
This is fine. You don't even know.
Reality check.
Who's got miss? Got a miss? Got text.
Got a
is it?
Got text.
I'm caught up a bit. Well, no, I'm up to Teddy's arrival.
Oh, yes, you're
I got
caught
out on
up.
Love Island, but now I'm back.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you're thinking of dipping out
Hang
around
on, wait.
episode 8,
Are we recording? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I didn't realise.
Do you not
Why
know
would
how
we not be
podcasts
recording?
work,
I thought
podcast
we were
lady?
chatting. I thought
What?
we were.
No.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were giving Tina an opportunity to answer a text message. Never mind.
She can do that.
Who's it from, Tina?
It wasn't even a text, it was Slack.
Oh,
no, got a slack.
You can't have your Slack notifications on. It's a nightmare.
Can you imagine that in the office if we said that every time anyone
So
got a Slack?
annoying.
I got a Slack! Got a Slack! Anyway, I'm back on Love Island. Great.
Oh,
Great. Glad to hear
I
it.
nearly bailed, but I'm back and I'm up to about episode 12, 13, and it's humming along now.
Tell you what, and I was just thinking this as I was in the bathroom before we came to record the podcast, and I think it's a direct result of Love Island. I want to get my lips done. I mean, I absolutely don't want to get my lips done.
I would do it if you could just do it for like an hour.
Yeah.
And just see and take a photo and then,
I'm just so curious.
it's so bad for your body image.
Does it also?
It's so bad for your body image.
Does it also? What happens to your
The
lips?
program
Watching
is.
that program.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Almost
It's terrible.
every single person who I was like, I think I'm going to get my, I think I'm
gonna-
going to get Botox.
I am
lips
going
done.
to get a new bottom.
I want to
new
get a
boobs.
spray tan,
I'm going to get my legs lengthened. I'm going to get it all. Is there like a discount for the full works?
Maybe.
You know, like you pay this amount for this one and this one, but then if you buy the whole lot together, it can, oh, Duncan, you look like you're thinking something.
Well, I just wonder if, like, in the future, which is hitting at us very quickly, you could, like, if surgeons, because the problem with surgeries is that they're not they haven't been, you know, like dentists used to be all these different dentists. Now it's just Lumino the dentist, just own them all. Like if all the surgeons get together and come under one big surgery brand, whether they could actually justify funding Love Island because of the increased demand for their services.
Oh my God.
Like, I feel like that's something that's just going to happen.
Take that to Daylight Creative. We'll sell it in.
They currently do it with
Maybe we shouldn't.
Boohoo, right? Or whoever the clothes sponsor is. You can shop the look that everyone's wearing. So it could be like shop the
Shop
lips.
the body. Shop
Yeah,
the lips.
shop the lips, shop the butt.
Okay, what I want to know is with the lips, if you do it a lot, does it turn out like, say if you had your boobs done and then you had implants taken out and then presumably, or you breastfeed or whatever, presumably you end up a wee bit saggy. Is the same thing with your lips? Like, do you have to just keep getting them done forever because you've stretched out the lip skin?
I don't think so.
And then you've got little flappy lips? Does that happen?
I think.
Or do we not know yet?
No,
I think we don't know yet.
I know some people who've had their lips done a few times, and definitely their lips seem exactly as they were.
It just dissolves
into where?
Into your mouth. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm not a doctor.
Yum.
Whoa, really?
Sorry.
Oh my
That is
God.
crazy,
The facts have
'cause
changed
I've
yet
been
again.
turning to you for medical advice for a long time now.
Okay, we'll move on from Love Island and go to the Park Hyatt Hotel. Hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hotel, but it looked like a corporate space.
Well, I think it's
Bit of
many
both.
things.
It's a multi-purpose space.
I think it might be New Zealand's fanciest current hotel.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Do you imagine the Real Pod sponsored by the Park Hyatt? That'd be good.
Oh, no, I can't imagine
No, I
that.
can't either.
It's not imaginable.
We'll be like the ibis.
Yeah.
Good bird, good motels.
Sorry, Ibis.
Or, no, it would be the ibis.
Would be the
Quadrant.
ibis.
Exactly
It's
the
exactly the
ibis.
ibis.
Anyway.
Shit. Well
Okay,
done.
we're down to
Clutch.
we're down to the top three. We've got We've got Ness, we've got Mike, we got Stephen. Iconic trio.
Oh,
I love
to
them.
die for. This episode. Oh my
Oh.
God.
This episode was actually brutal, and it made me miss the silly challenges.
No way. I thought it was like incredible.
I know, I enjoyed it, and that's the businessman in you, but I just felt, I think there was a point when I was watching the episode that I was like, oh God, there's no more mowing over plaques. There's no more silly, dumb things happening anymore. This is like, we're down to the pointy end of the business now.
Yes, but the path here, all the silly stuff made you really care about them. And now that they've flipped it into serious mode. And so now when they're having these kind of very intense encounters with a variety of different business people, I have things to say about them. You really like it really lands. Like I'm wrecked when Michael is wrecked.
Oh, I'm wrecked too. And I'm also like, do these people, I mean, who applied to be on this show? Because it just sounds like their business plans were absolute trash.
I love the reveal that they were what they put down at the very start. I love that. The
crazy
storytelling
reveal.
of it. They've been sitting there the whole time. It was like the end of Jigsaw when you find out Saw was in the room.
What?
Oh, well, there goes my weekend.
I
Thanks,
know, I'm
Alex.
sorry.
Hey, no, but do you think they knew that when they were putting in their proposal that was going to be dissected?
Must have been.
Or is it just like, here, apply, put in your business proposal, surprise, we're using that doc that you threw together in the
No, they
last
seem
week.
to be deeply wedded, and they would sort of periodically refer to their plans throughout the season.
Mike
did they
didn't
not?
have a budget.
No,
Of
Mike
any
had a
sort.
budget, he just didn't have a price.
Or, okay, yes, he did, 50 million.
It was just
$50
amazing.
million.
It was amazing when it was like, yeah, I just pulled the, April and October were bad months.
It's going to be dips.
Just going to be, because I thought that was more realistic. I just felt really bad for him.
It also made me weirdly like, I know my thesis at the start was that like business is a sham, blah, blah, blah. But when you see the actual business people talking business, I weirdly got like quite emotional. Like when that guy was like, when Peter Beck launched his rocket, telling the kind of the theatre of it, I was like, I love this.
But at the same time, the other guy was like, you don't want to be a pioneer because pioneers only end up with an arrow up the arse. So I was like, who do you listen to?
Also,
Who do you listen to?
Hutch. So that guy, is it Mike Hutchinson? He was, when I worked at Image Centre Group, which was a printer that went vertical into owning magazines.
Sorry, I imagined
This
the
is-
printer
this
was
is
like
all-
taking off into space then.
This is all weird.
Well, good, because we were just talking about Rocket Lab, and then you
Yep,
said
yep,
went vertical, and
yep.
you're using business speak, and you need to dumb it down.
Okay, I'll dumb it down. So, Image Centre, this is my honest opinion and my understanding of it. Basically, Image Centre Group they just printed magazines, and then they eventually developed a stable of their own magazines, largely through the magazines would get indebted to them for printing their magazines, And when they couldn't afford to pay their debts, they would be sort of acquired by image centre groups. So they developed quite a large stable of magazines, largely through sort of them getting indebted to them. And like, I'm not suggesting there was anything untoward with that, but it's just that it's an unconventional way to get a group of magazines together. And then they ended up having like a big web development thing. There is a point to this, I swear. Anyway, so when I was there was that guy, Hutch, was like in one of the offices upstairs.
Oh.
And he wrote this sort of, like, he was an ex-ad guru, very sort of decorated. But even then, this was like, he'd been out of the ad game for quite a while. And it just seems kind of the trio, the fact that he was quite a long time removed from his moment in the sun was quite eyes emoji to me, just because I felt bad for Mike. Like, he obviously should know what he's going to charge for his breathing.
And we're back.
But I was also like, I feel like maybe you're not as connected, Hutch isn't as connected to the zeitgeist of all the weird stuff that we pay for nowadays as he might have been 20, 30 years ago. Because I can sort of imagine people paying for breathing nowadays.
One of the dads at the school in LA ran a breathing, that was his business. This exact business that Mike's talking about. It exists.
But that's competition, isn't it?
It's competition.
Anna kept pointing out. Can I ask a question? When Hutch worked in the same building as you, was he shooting arrows at people's behinds?
No, but he might have been. He had his own office and it was upstairs, and I was down on the shop floor just grinding it out.
Was he part of? Sorry, I'm not sure if I glazed over. Was he part of the vertical acquisition of the magazines?
I think he might have been.
Or was that just you folding for a second?
I also think that he was mates with maybe the dad of the person who ran it. Look, it's all a bit unclear, and I'm just speculating here.
Hang on, we just go back then. So that you just told us about the magazines and the magazine acquisition and how it's an unusual model had nothing to do with this guy? Is that just...
Oh, yeah, probably. But don't you think it's interesting?
Yeah.
You're just saying because you both sort of paused.
No, it's just...
That's fine.
I was just trying...
Just interesting to boring old me.
I was just trying to link it all together.
Well, he wrote for Ideologue at the time.
There we go. That'll do.
But anyway, I just thought that, like, Michael deserved to be maligned for not knowing how much he was going to charge for his thing, and therefore all of his numbers being based on just guessing at what a business's cash flow would look like. But I do think the product, people are willing to pay for very odd stuff nowadays.
I also think it's perfectly fine that he wants to continue making money as an auctioneer, something he's very good at.
Hell yes!
Until such time as he can, it's just common bloody sense, mate. It doesn't mean he's not going to go all in on the breathing.
Why isn't he saving, though?
Why
isn't he saving his auctioneer's dime?
Argue that he has invested his whole life up to this point in breathing. Because he's been doing it since the moment he came from his mother's womb. Never
even once. So I so strongly agree with that point about it's like the idea that, and all three of the experts kind of expressed variations on this, that you must quit your job and be all in on this thing. It's like, that's a freaking privileged position that only people who've got money or a real strong safety net can do. Like, for most people, they have to, do it a little bit on the side and build it out from there. Like, it requires so much to be able to do that. And I think, especially with auctioneering, which is naturally done in the evenings, naturally, really valuable, but only for a relatively short space of time, you've got a lot of time in the week. It's like a perfect sort of way of bankrolling your experimental breathing business. I just think they were wrong, straight up.
I agree. Also, when you think about Ness and Stephen, they're just at different points, right? Like Michael's just not launched his yet. Doesn't mean it's not a valid idea. Ness presumably saved up some money from her being a flight attendant to the point where she could launch her business, and she probably did both at the same time for a bit before she went full time into the balloons.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Stephen is still influencing.
Stephen is certainly still modelling.
We've just seen it.
So
still wearing that towel low, real low,
real low. The lowest. What else? Anna Mowbray. She's
amazing.
Terrifying.
That's a CEO. That's what people talk about when they talk about girl bosses.
EOs.
It was crazy. I was very impressed and terrified.
I was absolutely terrified. I just thought she was great TV talent, though.
Amazing.
Yeah, totally agree. I also think that she made the older gentleman look rubbish by comparison because she was just so, she was so intense, and every question was like laser guided. It was really, really impressive performance from her.
Who do you think that she went hardest on? She went hard on all of them, eh?
She kind of did. Because they all had different, like Ness had that jumbo Bible and a 67-page document of her
and
expansion
seemingly
plans.
67 revenue streams. Like my
incredible.
mum's cleaning business.
I love that.
OMG clean.
OMG, it's so clean, right?
But it was like, at first when she explained it, she's like, mum will go in and clean, after the party, after the event. So that makes sense. But then she's like, but she also just does other cleaning, as well, which is great. I mean, love a mum for it. But it was very tenuously tied to the balloon business. I want to hear what all the other ones are. There's like a party in a box.
Masterclasses?
The masterclasses I thought was a bit of a bung no.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you look on Instagram, there are a lot of mothers putting together balloon garlands for their children's Insta-worthy birthday parties.
Yeah,
but they're learning how to do it for free from anywhere else, right?
Well,
Why
and
would you
also
pay
like
for it?
if they can do it well, then they don't need you. Like you're sort of giving away your secret sauce. You don't see the Colonel doing masterclasses and here are the 11 secret herbs and spices. Go make your own.
Oh my God.
KFC.
This is why I'm not a business person. I'll never be a CEO.
You're my CEO.
It's just the most fun word to say as well.
So Ness had her massive doc.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing simple about me. I'm bougie.
I was just
She's got so many catchphrases. It's
She's
a lifestyle.
so cool.
And she was also using bitch quite a lot in this episode. So I feel like, and not like in a not in a you're a bitch way.
Right.
Sorry, Alex.
Oh my God.
No, in a I'm gonna own this bitch. She kind of bitchy.
Yeah.
She was also
like in
wearing
a cool way.
Louboutin?
Was she?
Louboutin?
Was she?
I think so.
Red Soul
Wow.
Shoes.
Red Soul Shoes, yeah.
Wow.
She's just a magnificent character.
Also, did
for
she
the
not?
TV.
Did I hear that she made like $270,000 last year in her
Yeah, did.
business?
It
That's
wouldn't
proper
surprise
money.
me. She, they talked about her in the room, how she's very charismatic. If I talked about when I went to that Girls in Business thing, and she brought the house down. Like, she is a massive celebrity star. It wouldn't surprise me that it's just like everyone goes to her for everything now. All the corporate events, all the baby showers, because she's fun.
Mm.
Like,
my
you get to
God.
kind of have her at your event as well, which I think
Yeah.
is a big part of it.
Corny Christmas. Corny Christmas. A corn balloon garland. I'm thinking yellow balloons.
Oh my God, the
Green
each
balloons.
I'm
kernel
thinking each
is
kernel.
a yellow.
Yes. Ah.
Each kernel is a yellow.
Balloon, I think is the
would-
word you're looking for.
She would bloody well do it too, wouldn't she?
I don't know. Would she?
I once tried to get her to work on something else I was doing, a separate project for a different place. And I took a real partner, just messaged her, and I was like, would you want to come on this thing and talk about this? And she messaged back and said, oh, I'd love to. I'm really, really busy at the moment, but just let me know if there's any time. It was because she was filming The Apprentice at the time. I didn't realize. But I love that she was just up for being, she's like, oh, she's just great.
She's got it.
If she
got
wins, do you reckon she'd give us a ride in a van? I reckon.
I would love it.
I'd
A
love it.
$30,000 van?
Yeah.
Is that a lot for a van?
That sounds reasonable.
Can you do a rolling podcast? Can we get a Guinness World Record for
Okay,
longest
look,
straight-
I've looked into the Guinness World
Such a sad
Records
face,
thing.
Alex.
It's very tricky to get a podcast world record.
Why don't we just
across
do one of the ones that's like first podcast with a milk bottle on your head? Like one of those shit ones that you just
Yeah.
make up, We should do that.
Oh my! I think okay. Duncan's got a crushed can of Red Bull Tropical, quite specific, on his head. Say something quickly. So you're podcasting.
I'm podcasting.
There you go. There's a record.
Wait.
Done. We're just getting some photographic evidence. Oh!
This is going straight to
Guinness.
Guinness.
If it was a can of Guinness, then they'd have to do it.
Yeah, they would. Then it is a Guinness record, isn't it? Oh God. Anything else to say about Ness?
Love her.
Love you.
Love it.
She didn't know any of the
who
money.
needs
She didn't know
to?
how much money she makes or spends.
Honestly,
but
it's
I love
very
it.
hard to know that.
They just talk about you need to know every dollar that's coming and going. I mean, I
don't
don't
know.
have many dollars, and I don't know any
I
of my
don't think
dollars
that's
coming
true.
and going.
I just don't think that's true. It's certainly I've never known.
Isn't that what bloody Xero's for? Xero looks after that for you, right? You just check in. Yeah, got enough to buy myself a van. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. It's got enough to pay myself $90,000.
Yeah, shall we move on to Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of nootropics? I have one issue with the idea of nootropics.
Is this you talking or are you reading?
No, this is
you
me
in
talking.
character?
This is me talking. Is Nootropics? What is it? Is this the coffee that doesn't have?
It's arepa.
No, hang on. Is it a coffee or is it an additive to a coffee?
It's an additive to a coffee.
Okay, so it takes the effects of the caffeine out.
It smooths out the harshing of your buzz.
Question: why not just get to decaf? Because
No,
you want
the pop,
pep.
but you want the edges sandwich.
Okay,
But not the jitters.
You don't want the jitters or the anxiety.
All right.
Or the
Okay.
anxiety.
Okay. So one of the business people suggested that people actually drink coffee for the anxiety and the jitters, and I don't think that's true.
No, they want the
Yeah, that's
buzz, but
weird.
they don't want the
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Was that the Simplicity guy who said that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He's got a new look, by the way.
Does
He
he?
used to look sort of like he used to have a shaved face, and he used to wear like a shirt, and now he has a mock turtle, black, with a blazer over it, and a very neatly trimmed beard.
Which one was that? Was that Sam?
Sam
Stubbs.
He's
Goldman
very
Sachs.
attractive.
Scientifically proven is the most overused term in business. Thoughts? Probably true.
Probably true.
Probably true.
I'd like an investigation into made up shit. Like, you know,
But who do you trust?
I know, okay,
Because
like-
the scientists get paid off.
think about
and
think about the beauty industry and think about the clothes washing detergent industry and all these bloody things that they talk about, like, and now with oxide-ocity, scientifically proven to capture your dirt grubs.
Your dirt grubs.
Your dirt grubs on your clothes.
Wow, when
And-
the science changed.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, they just use these neologisms, right? They've made up words, and they tell you that it does something, and they do a little graphic on the screen, and you go, okay.
Yeah, but I believe in nootropics. Because
I mean, we've seen it. We've got scientific
felt
evidence
it.
on this very podcast of, as Ben Thomas said, consciousness expanding live on mic.
I like that he's become like, we've influenced him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is Nootropics not the brand name?
No,
No,
that's
it's like the
a
enzyme
genre.
or whatever.
Oh my God.
I think like LSD might be a nootropic. Or maybe mushrooms.
Well, it was interesting that he said like his later plan was to get
mushrooms.
into mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty
then like
sure-
start a music festival.
Tina's
Tina's there.
game.
He's basically, if this genius wins, he's getting Mike Pero to fund his drug cartel. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's getting
hide
nootropical.
it in plain sight. I love it.
Okay, so Stephen he did very well, I thought, in these interviews. Overall, he was
He blinked a lot.
he blinked a lot. I think he did really well in the money stuff when they're like, "What are you going to do with your 50K?" And he had a plan.
Yeah.
And then just every question they had for him about money, he had an answer, including, "I want $90,000 in my first year." Which, as a non-business person, I'm like, why wouldn't you pay yourself? But apparently it's something to do with investors, and if you pay yourself and the investors walk away with nothing, they're going to be pissed off, and I don't know, something like that. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I can see the disquiet among, I mean, especially if like you're taking the money, the investor holds all the risk, and you know that you're getting out of with a pretty good salary, and the investor, he was planning to make $0 that first year. And knowing that most businesses fail in their first year, that's like $50,000. So Stephen does well. Me as the investor, probably odds are it's going to be a failed business. Whereas if Stephen was to dial it back to say 70, then there could be a $20,000 profit. The investor gets a share of that, and then it just feels like you're both kind of focused on the right thing.
Right. Oh, man.
Sorry, I just make it so boring.
No,
don't I?
that's great. That's great. I understand it. He's already got a flagship store location lined up in Ponsonby.
Has he?
I mean, if he's got that and he's got like...
But does that just mean he's pointed at a shop and went, I want that one?
Yeah, I
Little
think
Britain.
so.
Good that you attributed it.
It must be, because otherwise he's already got the money, right? Like how, I feel like with his idea and the way that he's looking at it, 50K is not really going to go that far,
Oh
is
my
it?
gosh, like a 50K fit out is not getting it done. Like fit out's like $500,000.
No, he had a fit out of 130 and they were
That-
like, you're 100% short on that.
Yeah.
So what's the 50 for? I mean, if you've already got all this other money,
Yeah.
well, I don't understand. Ness wants a van.
Ness
She wants
wants
a
a van.
$30,000 van,
$20,000 worth of other stuff.
Yeah.
balloon materials and
And mum.
mum.
You know, mum.
Yeah.
I'm cash.
In terms of Mike, what he's going to do, who knows? He said something, I'm paraphrasing, but it was pretty much, I've put together some figures based on some figures I've put together.
And he also said New Zealand spends 30% of its GDP on wellness.
This was real funny, okay. So he's wrong. New Zealand clearly doesn't spend 30% of its GDP on wellness. And whatever, I don't know where it's such a nebulous term, it could mean anything. And then he said it's $5 billion. So that obviously that's a mistake. But then Sam Stubbs, don't want to harp on it, but said that New Zealand's GDP is $75 billion. Correct? That's not correct. New Zealand's GDP is like $300 billion. You can't just be like sassing Mike for not knowing what New Zealand's GDP is and then having the wrong number yourself. Like, you just can't.
I don't know. I'm the hand shrug emoji. But they think they settled on it was more like 3%. I don't know. But also, what's wellness? I mean, is buying yourself some Floridix at the supermarket wellness?
It's Florida.
Oh, it's a thing. It's like a supplement. Like is going for a walk to Muzz's Pies wellness.
It's buying like a brand new Jeep wellness because it makes you feel nice.
Yes. I'd argue
It's unclear.
yes.
It's unclear.
It's very unclear, and that would not get past the line at the Guinness World Records. I'm just saying that.
I need breathwork.
Okay.
We should get Michael into the spin-off to do a dummy run of his breathwork company.
I mean,
Can we not? You seem resistant to the idea.
Yes.
What else? Oh, I want to just mention Mike. So we sort of touched on it, but the $50 million. He wants to make $2,000 profit, I guess, or just turnover. Is that what?
No, $2,000 profit in the first year.
But then within 10 years, it's up to $50 million. That's so many people breathing.
Yeah, you can get the whole world breathing. That's the plan. It's a movement. I mean, look, to be fair to Michael, and like I just think that there's a whole lot around business that is intentionally kind of exclusionary, and that makes it seem if you don't have the answer to this whole suite of questions, then you have no right to go into business. But look, again, I'm probably speaking from very personal experience here. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just sort of started hacking away at it. It worked out fine. There are heaps of people that know all the finance and know all of the like terms, and they've done their MBA or whatever, and they're just rubbish at it because they don't actually know what people want. They don't have a feel for like that kind of competitive environment. Like Michael might not have the numbers on lock, just like Vanessa doesn't, but Vanessa's clearly got a lot of really strong intangibles. So does Michael. Like, I just think that critique of, you must be able to kind of look at a balance sheet and correctly diagnose. Like, I just don't believe it. I think if it were ever true, it's certainly not true in kind of service-based businesses like selling balloons or breathing, where a lot of your personal charisma is a huge asset to the business. And I just think they were sort of unnecessarily kind of cruel to him from a basis that doesn't actually reflect the kind of current business fundamentals, particularly in the kind of spaces they were going into. Sorry, that was more when the facts changed. But I just really rate Vanessa and Michael.
I can really see why you have enjoyed this episode. Your passion is palpable. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not. I'm trying. I'm like, kudos to you, Duncan.
Is there any world where it's like season 2 Duncan Grieve at the Park Hyatt? Like,
no, I want.
Is
Duncan,
that not even crazy?
I want you to not be the business person.
I would love to.
I want you to be I want you to be a candidate. I want you to be mowing over flags.
Well, I was actually thinking when I was watching it, I was like, if I was pitching the spin-off in year 1, I'd have been mown down by these terms. Absolutely destroyed. And not saying that the spin-off's some kind of massive success, but it has kept going and it's done kind of what we said it was going to do, despite, or maybe even because I just didn't know about all the scary stuff that they were trying to make sure that they were really focused on.
Can't wait for that 50 mil.
Wow.
Would be
huge.
Okay.
We got a close up on the receptionist.
Oh,
for the first time, I think, ever.
And I also I studied the credits to see if I could do some digging, find out his name, perhaps look on some actor sites, and it wasn't there.
Well, you know what? There's mystery there. Because that I asked publicity, can we talk to the receptionist? And they were like, he's unavailable.
What do you mean
and I
he's
was like,
unavailable?
does this mean unavailable forever? And they were like, yes.
So, CGI or been murdered?
It's definitely interesting.
I'll tell you
Definitely
what,
some questions.
he's an absolute emotional void, because when Mike came out of that, spoiler alert, when Mike came out, I was like welling up.
Yeah.
Cassie was wrecked, and rightly
wrecked.
so.
He didn't flinch. When Ness came out, Also, she was like extremely shaken and upset. Didn't even look at her.
Is he CGI? Or is he
could be like
a stock image that they put into the background and they're actually walking out through a green screen?
He could be a little Michaela type, you know?
Mate, that's
be a
why
little
he's
Michaela.
unavailable.
He's
Speaking of
unavailable.
little Michaela,
Should we?
check out Extremely Online on the spin-off. It's a wonderful web series. It's on our Instagram. It's on the shit you should
it's on the
care
shit
about.
you should care about Instagram, and it's on our YouTube.
It's
It's
our
very
YouTube.
good. It's very good.
I'm honest. Sorry, I get very confused with social media and the internet. It's just I hit a certain age and it all became too hard.
I had a dream that Siska cancelled me last night, and I had to apologise to Lucy in person today. Lucy
Have you heard
Blakiston.
about that already?
Huh?
They should just cancel someone from the spin-off once a week.
Honestly, it was awful.
Oh god.
What had you done?
I told her really bad. I was doing stand-up. I was doing stand-up at Golden Dawn, rest in peace, open mic. And I was like, no, I can't even though I know it's not real, I can't even say it.
Well, what was the joke?
I told a joke about you have to beat that. And I remember in the dream looking out into the audience and seeing Siska, Lord was there, of course. James Roquet, Lord, Siska team were all there in the audience, and I immediately saw them all pick up their phones and start filming me.
Oh my god.
And then Siska did their whole like little pastel panel thing about like 5 reasons why.
It's so specific, Alex.
And I feel awful about it.
Can I just advise next time you're doing stand-up, read the room, look at the room, see who's there, see how much trouble. Like that is.
The crazy thing is, if you did it at the current Golden Dawn, which has become Hoppers, stuff would go great. I love it.
Hey, just quickly back to the television show. And back, I know we've already talked about what happened in the boardroom, kind of, but just back to Mike's thing. He did at one point make his business sound like a pyramid scheme.
Yes.
Did you pick
He
up on
did.
that?
He did.
When he was like, we'd try, because he was like, they said, you're going to be training up people. And he's like, yeah, but then you've got leaders and then those people and they feed into it. And I was just like, don't go down that road.
And then you get gold standard sellers and silver standard. And
you can win a car.
But maybe that's the real estate industry. I bet you it is.
True.
Oh, never look. Okay, so Mike got sent home. God, that was rough. I mean, Cassie's eye makeup.
Oh my
was
God, she
all
didn't.
over
Yeah,
the place.
Akimbo.
she wasn't lying. It was all over the show.
So the thing I loved though was that like Mike was wrecked and Cassie was wrecked and we were all wrecked. And then by the time he was in his black Mercedes van, that would cost more than $30,000, I tell you. But maybe discount for anyway. He was already stoked and pumped and ready to go smack. Like I just love his attitude.
Yeah, me too. And also, he did something that I don't think any of the others have done. He stayed in the room to thank everyone. He didn't just get up and walk out.
Yeah.
Or at least they included that part in the edit.
That's what wrecked Cassie was
Yeah.
just his giant heart
Yeah.
out of his giant chest.
And so we're now down to the final two. Ness
what
and
a
Stephen.
two.
What a two. And it's all happening tonight.
Styles make fights as well. Like they're so different.
Who's
But
your
I'm
money
worried-
on? Can we guess?
I know who I'd like to win, but then I know who I think might win.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we both would like Ness to win. And we
I think
both-
Ness is gonna
we
win.
all- Really?
I think Ness is going to
But
win.
is it to do with the business plan again? Or is it some other thing?
I don't know. I just think it's like her business is already happening,
It looks
and
like
it's good.
Yeah.
It looks like from the teaser they're going to pitch that they bring all the other people back. They lead a team from
that's
from
right.
the previous candidates, and then they go and do a pitch to in an auditorium and pitch their
So
business.
she'll
there.
be an incredibly strong pitcher in the room. I think she'd be able to take the feedback about condensing it and action that, because that's just a shrinking. You could action that overnight. I do think it should massively count that she's got a business turning over $200,000 a year
Of course.
already.
Of course.
So-
But also, I get the jitters. I get anxiety. I wouldn't mind a coffee that's got a little special something in it that takes that away.
I tell you what, if you'd had that just before your stand-up set, that might have made all the difference
Or
between
maybe that's what she
cancellation and
did do,
non-cancellation.
and that's when she went for some of her sort of like more risque materials. You know what? That already exists, and it's called whiskey. You just Irish up your coffee.
Oh my
And,
God.
No jitters.
Okay, we're taking a break. We're back in a minute to recap the block extremely quickly. Kia ora. If it's your dream to come and work at the Spin-Off or our sister company Daylight Creative, then listen up. The Spin-Off is on the hunt for our next editor of The Bulletin, our flagship morning newsletter. We want someone who's a proud news freak, someone who knows how to sift through the headlines and pluck out the most essential stories of the day and then explain them to a time-poor audience. If this sounds like you, get your application in before July the 25th. If you're passionate about creating meaningful, impactful work that makes a difference, then you'll want to be part of the Daylight Creative crew. We're after 2 new members to join our client service team. We're looking for a full-time account manager and a contract account director to look after our amazing client base. Applications for these 2 roles close on August the 2nd. Go to thespinoff.co.nz/spinoffjobs for more information or to apply. Okay, anyway, living room week, or whiskey room week if you're Meg and Dan. We'll just quickly get into dinner wars. They all scored each other 0. Mark was not happy, makes them rescore. They all still do some strategic scoring, and Dylan and Keegan win by 0.1 of a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they've got $10,000 worth of painting.
Rosine painting.
Eco decorators, I think you're finally called.
Is it?
Connie's still being lovely, as you say, going around cleaning everyone's windows except for her own.
I like Connie.
She's so good. As there was one shot they showed of her holding onto this like massive fucking drill thing.
I know.
I'm talking like the what do you call it? The diameter of the drill bit was like 20 centimeters.
That was incredible.
And it was overhead. Like she's holding it up over her head.
I love the shot of her from Dinner Wars wearing a false moustache, just sitting there like in hell.
Connie is definitely the best person. I mean, I love Keegan, but Connie has just come in and really challenging him for the top spot in my mind. She's just, what a unique and amazing human she is. Yep. Anyway, Meg and Dan did a whiskey room. It's fine.
Look, can I say something about this week's rooms? Boring. And I think it's because, and I like Cheetah. I shop at Cheetah.
But there's limited options,
There's just
right?
really limited options, and everything's in these same kind of beigey, nice colours, and every room is white, and it's just like, it's a bit boring. The Gizzy Hard somehow made every room like, pow, like just lots of crazy poppy stuff. I think that they've oversold it, so there's too limited a range of things that you can buy. So everything just looks quite bland. And also, I think knowing that they've got a real estate person as a judge and who's all about the sale means that they're all just kind of sort of pivoting quite hard into not interior decorating choice, not trying to please Jason the Madman Bonham, but they're trying to please the real estate agent. It's just a bit boring.
I agree with you, Duncan. I agree with you. In fact, I think, remember back in Meadowbank days when Nikki and Tiff kept going to Indie Home Collective? They wouldn't go to Freedom Furniture unless they absolutely had to. And so they were bringing in all this stuff that was different that no one else had. What I would like to propose...
Where's my graffiti splashback?
It's a bit too late. It's a bit too late now because I'm sure they've done filming. But they should be going to Briscoe's, picking up a lovely classic navy duvet. In fact, I know where they can get one cheap.
I'll sell it on the cheap.
It's used, but no one will even know.
Pick up this weekend only.
But just go get to do something different. You're right. It is so, like, all their beds look the same. All their cushions, their couches, they all look the same.
I don't understand how they're scoring them differently. Like, Artie and Tim's room was fine. They're all fine.
Can I just say, the whiskey room, actually, because it's an upstairs whiskey room, it's presumably, because this is not their main lounge for most of them, it's like a living room. I think there's something else coming, another loungy type. Cause
more than one?
Yeah. Remind me of how your parents had an upstairs room.
They did.
That they used to drink whiskey in or something in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I love that room. And I would love a whiskey room if you're listening. Whoever's got plans for me
Meg and Dan.
in my life.
Meg and Dan, obviously.
My question is, where's the telly?
Well, it's a whiskey room. It's an entertaining room.
So it's pure just to stare at the whiskey.
That's why it makes me think there's a lounge to come.
It also seems dangerous. Like, you can't do anything but drink
Just
whiskey up
whiskey.
there.
It's
no
only
TV,
whiskey.
and there's all those stairs to get down afterwards.
Yeah. Sorry if
Legs
you're
akimbo.
Sorry if you're a vodka gal. It's not the space for you.
No.
Tim and Artie did. I can't even remember.
Mid-century big flu. That's what I wrote.
Big flu.
Big flu.
Ugly curtains. Oh, do you know what? This was the one that to me.
Fine.
This one looked like every block living room I've ever seen before, including the wooden shelves next to the fireplace. Just come on.
And Louise, though, 4.
I know.
Was rough.
She was just... I mean, look, admittedly, those curtains are annoying to drag across that rail style, but that shouldn't be enough. Like,
Were they drop cloths? Or was that their little joke? They talked about drop cloth curtains.
No, they weren't really. Hey, so Anne Louise has looked upon a very unfinished bathroom before and said, lovely, 7.5. And this entirely finished thing, which had basically one ugly curtain, but otherwise was completely indistinguishable from everyone else's, gets a 4. Like, it just doesn't... There should be some rigor to the judging.
I think she can see through it and can see they just don't actually have any design eye. Like, it's paint by numbers. I'm not going to defect on Anne Louise.
What about the flu? That was design eye.
The flu's terrible. Just got my jab last week to make sure I don't get the flu. Sorry.
Oh my
God. That's
Oh my God.
I love it.
Stand-up comedy at Golden Dawn has come to the spin-off.
Can we get that clip for a promo?
Please don't. Connie and Rach had the biggest living room on the block. They had big everything. They had big ceiling. They had big skylights. They had a big egg chair. Egg chairs are done.
I hate an egg chair.
Stupid egg
An
chair.
egg chair is chuggy.
It is so
It's chuggy.
I
An
love
egg
how
chair is
proud
chuggy.
of ourselves we are whenever we find something that we're confident is chuggy.
To sit in it is awful. Legs akimbo. You're always like, is this going to fall?
It's the egg chair is the sign of a weird spaced room. And that's what they had. They had like a long living room. They had their couch. You have to have your couch. You can't have it all the way at the end of the room to be so far away from the telly and the fireplace. So they had to put the couch in the middle. And then it's like, what's going on behind there? An egg chair and a table.
A big old bean bag.
Oh, I love
Big
the
old
olive tree. I
fluffy
have to
bean
say, I
bag.
love the olive tree.
I did, but I was just like, is it going to live? If it's just going to die.
Olive trees are very hardy.
Have you ever eaten an olive right off the tree?
No.
Surely that's impossible.
I done it around the corner.
Oh, that one that's outside, that's got massive, hasn't
There's
it?
heaps around here, yeah.
I done it round the corner. Love it. Love it. Are you
It
still
was
alive?
very bitter.
Yeah.
Okay, Dylan and Keegan. Okay, I mean, if you want a hidden door, go to Dylan and Keegan's
What
house.
are they doing? They're tiny little
This
doors.
house
To the borrowers.
is very funny to me.
So there's a door that goes, like, Anne Louise was like, I see an uneven skirting board. And I was like, uh-oh, points off. And then she was
Yeah.
like, it's a secret door. And then she goes, not that
Duncan's
one.
doing-
Duncan,
No, this
you're
is
doing
the other
wine
secret
cellar.
door.
We're not even
We're
in
talking about
wine
the
cellar.
secret
I can
space.
understand that.
She was like,
There's a
"Ooh,
James
there's-
Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's something exciting going to be happening with that space, but we don't know where it
James
goes
Bond.
to. And then there was the cellar under the stairs. I think they loved this room too much, to be honest, because it was a weird space. They're like, it's a reception room.
But I think it's also because it was just not like the other rooms. At least, like, it had some colour that wasn't beigey white.
Yeah, true. I mean, I like the colours and so on. I like how they styled it. But it was just like when they said it's a reception room, it literally looked like the reception at a fancy.
Basically, they've
Surgery.
made like a little, they made like a doctor's surgery or it looks like it's designed to be rented to Lord of the Rings for the next 5 years or something.
I'm into the cellar.
Not the decor,
do you mean?
but just, they're always advertising for rental, like furnished rentals for long periods of time. I feel like that's what they've gone for.
I'm into the cellar under the stairs.
The hobbits would fit in that little room.
They
Yeah,
would. And
that's
I
true,
think that, you know how Anne Louise was like, oh, I wouldn't get in there. I'm like, if you want wine badly enough, you'll get in there.
Oh.
You'll get in there.
You will get in there. Yeah.
Even if it's like just getting your arm round in a broom to just like whip one off, you know? What? What did I say? Did it sound rude?
it did sound
Oh,
rude,
sorry.
yeah.
It's Sam Road.
Don't use a broom for that. Okay.
my
Unless you want to, that's fine too. Oh, God. Stop. Take it out.
No.
Don't take it
You
out.
leave it in. You
Leave
leave it in.
it. Don't
Tina.
let Siska listen.
You just want to leave it in so that your news about your terrible joke at the Golden Dawn gets bumped down and I'm the one who gets in trouble. You're trying to dilute the pool of cancellation.
She's got a bad duvet as well.
Okay, Connie and Rach won. They played a +1. They didn't need to because... Oh, no, they played a -1. They didn't need to. They won by more than 1 point. Anyway, 26. And
Some other scores.
something. Next week, I don't know. What's happening next week?
I don't know.
One of the other spaces. Okay, that's our podcast.
That's a podcast.
It is a podcast.
You can't deny it.
It's
Guinness.
also our podcast, isn't it?
And we
Yes.
broke a Guinness World Record.
Hey, I just want to shout out to the Cornies who filled out a survey that I put up in the corner this week.
Oh.
It was so nice, except for the 2 comments that weren't. But there were way more nice ones than not nice ones.
Yeah.
Stale.
Is it stale?
It's fine.
I don't think it's stale. I think
I'm
it's
not going to think about that
certified
for
fresh
4
on the
years.
tomato meter.
Okay.
Lovely time.
Lovely time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
And we'll see you next week, or maybe before. I don't know, who knows? We'll just see. Who knows?
Thanks, Tina, for producing.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spin-Off. You can help us keep all of The Spin-Off's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.